It's almost 10 months since Jay Slater was found dead in a ravine in Tenerife. He disappeared on a night out, leading to a month of frantic searching by friends, family and volunteers. Now, an inquest into the 19-year-old's death has had to be halted, as officials said they'd failed to trace key witnesses who may have details about his final hours. Our reporter Phil McCann was at Preston Coroner's Court in Lancashire. He's been updating Chris Warburton on Radio 5 Live.
Last July, Jay Slater went missing in Tenerife. He'd been there with some friends for a music festival, and then there was a 29-day period in between when he went missing in this very remote mountainous area of Tenerife, 20 miles away from his hotel. 29-day period between when he went missing and when his body actually found. And what you may probably remember is that in that 29-day period there was a whole flurry of online rumour, speculation, misinformation, conspiracy, and also endless stories in some of the papers about not just how Jay may have died, but about why he was in these mountains in the first place and what he may have been doing. And today's inquest, of course, as inquests are meant to do, was about trying to actually find some concrete answers for Jay's family who were here.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there being all sorts of suggestions, wasn't there, about links with friends and connections and all that kind of thing. What has been the struggle here then in terms of trying to get in contact with some of those people?
Well, court summonses have been served by police officers, but they haven't responded to them, and so they're not here in court today. And these are people who can really, the family at least hopes, can really shed light on this question of what Jay was doing out there in this mountainous part of Tenerife. It's worth saying that the question of how Jay died has pretty much been answered here by a forensic pathologist who said that Jay fell from a height and landed on his head. The cause of death was a severe traumatic brain injury. And as for these questions about whether there was kind of third-party involvement, this pathologist said the idea that Jay was pushed couldn't be expressly ruled out because it wouldn't leave a mark. But he said that, and this is important, he said there was nothing to suggest that there was an assault, gripping, holding, or anything of that sort. As for these questions about why he was in this mountainous area in the first place, the court was shown quite a bit of information on this, but it was all kind of inconclusive. So messages were shown that Jay sent to some friends where he was talking about having a designer watch that he said some kids had taken from someone, and how he was going to sell it for 10 quid, which is code for £10,000. And another message the court was told about but not shown because apparently it's been deleted, where Jay was said to have shown his trousers with knives in his trousers and a message saying in case it kicks off. But there was a police officer giving evidence here today saying, first of all, there was no evidence that this watch was sold other than that message that he'd sent, and there was also no evidence that there was any kind of threat at all against Jay. But because these people couldn't be found, and because Jay's family really wanted to hear from them and get some answers from them, the coroner decided to adjourn this inquest today.
Yeah, and just briefly then, so I mean, if these people don't come forward, what happens in respect of the inquest?
Well, I mean, so first of all, there are legal methods that can be used to require somebody to attend an inquest if they're in the UK, potentially culminating in it being an offence. But the coroner made clear that if these people are not in the jurisdiction, so basically if they're outside the country, then there's a limit on what he could do. Others were actually told that they wanted to appear here today. This has apparently been rearranged at quite short notice, and some are on holiday. In fact, one is in Tenerife, and they've said that they've been excused from attending. But the coroner said today that he's not confident of success in terms of finding these people. He hopes to resume in the next few months. And Jay's mum, Debbie, said towards the end of proceedings today, and she was very tearful at this point, she said that the family want these people to answer questions because she said, my son went on holiday but didn't come back.